Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dental Hygiene Basics podcast times Julio Takeover. I have the honor of interviewing four amazing dental hygiene students, and today I have a very special guest with me. I will let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Chardae. For those of you that don't know me, I am a second year dental hygiene student.
That is so exciting. And fun fact, you guys, Chardae is one of the first creators that I found on TikTok like a while ago. It's only because she had the school of my choice that I'm dreaming of getting into. And so I was like, "Oh my God, she is going to this school. We won't disclose the school because,
Hmm.
people are weird."
Yeah.
So it's just so amazing, and I cannot wait to start interviewing her today. So let's get started, Charday.
Yay!
Let's see here. So our first question, tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey leading to hygiene school.
Okay, so it kind of just first started off. I really didn't know what I was wanting to do. I went to Simpson University, that's up in Reading. Those of you that don't know, I actually got a softball scholarship, went up there for a year, decided I didn't like it, and I first wanted to be like a physical therapist or a chiropractor, something along the lines. But then I ended up becoming undecided, and I ended up just talking with my friends, and they mentioned dental hygiene, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I could see myself doing that." And this is my first time ever being in the dental field, so I was obviously nervous at first, but now I'm so happy that I made this choice.
Yeah, and it's I love how you say that because usually dental hygiene is not up there when people are talking about careers, obviously because we
Mhm.
have like a high demand in dental hygiene. And so that's amazing for someone that just had no dental experience and now you are like fully obviously
Mhm.
getting to like learn what you're learning. It's kind of cool, right?
Mhm.
Because people are like, I don't
Yes.
want to work on people's mouths.
Mm.
So I love
Yes.
that. Okay, so what was your overall GPA when you applied to dental hygiene school?
So my overall GPA was around a 3 point, it had to be from like a 3.2 to like a 3.4, I
Yeah.
think, in that vicinity. I'm not 100% sure. So I would say 3.2 just to be on the safe side, which honestly isn't like, oh my goodness, like it's not like the greatest GPA. So I'm
Right.
actually surprised that I got into where I got in, but I know that at the time of the application, it was like half lottery, half GPA. So I'm like, I don't know if I got in based on GPA or if I got based in on lottery. So,
That's interesting. So the
hmm.
school had like a half lottery selection and then half like
Yes.
point-based system, basically?
Yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So as far as, did you have to do anything specific to kind of make your application stand out, or did you just like apply?
So that was the whole thing is that I was so open to going honestly anywhere in California just because I knew how rigorous the program is. And so I was just applying everywhere. I was looking up dental hygiene programs like kind of near me, even if I had to move like I did. But so I kind of just went about doing that and just kind of applied anywhere.
Okay, so yeah, this ties into the
Mhm.
question. What dental hygiene schools did you apply to? Like how many?
I would say it was about six dental hygiene schools that I applied to. So my journey was so like different. Like I just felt like a lot of my friends and stuff that are in the program with me now, they got in on like the first round of applications. And mine took like a whole 2 rounds of applications. So I didn't get in the first time that I applied, and then you have to wait so long.
Yes.
And then I got into one school based off of wait list
Yeah.
because they were off a wait list. And then I was actually surprised that I got into the second school, which is where I'm currently at, because I wasn't anticipating it at all. So I pretty much I got into 2 schools my whole second time around. It was weird because I felt like I was waiting for like 2 years to get in because then you have to wait all the way up until you start the program. So it was
Yes.
like a whole time of waiting. Yeah, I was actually shocked that I ended up getting into 2 schools.
That is awesome. So then
Mhm.
how did if you're saying you got accepted into two programs, what made you decide this school?
So I It was so crazy because I was very open. So I went to the first school that I got into because I knew that I got into that one first. I went there and I visited it, and I it was more of, like, the interaction that I had with people, I would
Mhm.
say, is when I went down to the second school that I ended up picking. I just felt like I had more of an interaction with people. They were more open. I had people coming up to me and like, "Hey, like, maybe we can room together," or this or that,
Cute.
and yes. Yeah, so I just felt like I had more of an interaction, and then also the cost of living, that was a
Mhm.
big ordeal as well. And the school that I'm at offers so many benefits. Like we get free meal vouchers, so we get 3 free meal vouchers a week.
I love that.
Yes, we get a gas card, a $50
Shut
gas card
up.
for the month. Yes. And so they offer so many things. Financial aid is great. I can't express how happy I am that I ended up choosing where I'm at.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that makes my heart
Yeah.
so happy because you guys, like I said, this is where she's at,
Mhm.
is the school that I really like. I'm dreaming of getting accepted because, and then her telling me all this is just like getting me even more excited. But
Mhm.
it just sucks, Sharp, because like I feel like once you, like you said before, once you can't get accepted, like once you don't get in, you
Mhm.
have to wait a whole year. And I don't
Mhm.
know if I can, my heart can do that. Like, I don't know if I
Mhm.
can wait another year or it's just, I'm stuck because if I don't get accepted, I'm thinking I have to go to private.
Mhm. Yeah.
The chances are higher, but it's just more expensive.
Yes. And I know a few of my really good friends that I've made through just being on TikTok and stuff. I've had people reach out that are at a school that are at a private school. I think it's well, it's Carrington, but it was SJVC. Or I
Oh,
think it's
yes, yes,
Carrington
yes.
now, but it was SJVC, which is obviously a private. And they love it there. So it's like it all kind of just depends on what school you're trying to get into and what you're willing to do and stuff like that. And I applied to Carrington up in Sacramento, and I think I was on like an alternate list, but I didn't end up getting in there. But I was so close, and I was like, oh, I could have gotten in a little bit earlier, but you know what? Just waited and it worked out. So,
It worked out, babe, because like I
mhm,
feel like you are having such a wonderful time here and like
mhm.
you've met so many amazing people and it's like I feel like it's a great school. It's like
It is.
people don't know this because we're not going
Yeah.
to say where, but like it is in the middle of nowhere.
My first impression when I went there, I was like, "Where am I going?"
Is
Gosh,
no, literally, you guys, it's like a ghost town. So like
it
that's what I'm
is.
saying when she says like literally, I think I saw a TikTok that you were like, "There's
Uh-huh.
nothing here,"
There's
and I
there's
cackled because
nothing.
I know it, and I know what I've
Yes.
driven by there. Like it's so
Mhm.
crazy. Okay, Shar. So this kind of question already tied in with what you answered earlier. It was gonna ask, did you have a prior degree when you applied to dental hygiene school? And I mean, you just did your prereqs, right?
Yeah, so I did all of my prereqs, but I also ended up getting an associate's degree
Oh, that's right.
with the prereqs because I already had like English and all of that done in math and like psychology and all that stuff. Well, when you do all of that, I think it ends up being an associate's degree anyways. So I ended up getting my associates in natural sciences.
Love that. I
Mhm.
love that. Okay, so
Yeah.
she does. So basically, her associate's degree obviously tied in with all her prereqs because that's what you usually do
Mhm.
when you graduate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Miss Shar, if you are comfortable, how did you pay for dental hygiene school and the extra expenses associated with that?
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be very open with this question just because I feel like it helps a lot of people out, especially going into dental hygiene school. It is expensive. Saving up money before is super important, which I did save up money. But the first semester of dental hygiene school is definitely your most expensive because you have to afford all of the instruments. Your loops are expensive. They're like $2,000. So, anyways, going into that question, I ended up getting a school loan through the school. Also, financial aid through the school that I'm at helps so much. So, I'm able to kind of use that financial aid as well as the loan. And that's kind of how I'm living down there because I do have rent on top of gas and food and
Yes.
all of those other things as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I have a loan and then as well as financial aid too.
Okay, that's perfect. So is the
Mhm.
financial aid through like the school, like the government, basically,
Yeah,
right?
so it's like through FAFSA.
FAFSA,
So
there you
you
go.
have to like apply for FAFSA and then you get the financial aid through them and then the school obviously the school that I'm going to also offers like so many scholarships, so many
Wow.
grants. I recommend if you are in dental hygiene school and they offer scholarships and stuff, apply to them because you never know the school that we go to or that I go to. They offer so many scholarships, so many grants, and I've applied to scholarships. I've gotten scholarships from them. I've gotten
Wow.
they call it like a student success grant that you
Yeah.
get when you apply for FAFSA and stuff.
Yeah.
It's such a great school that I'm at, and I just can't be
Oh
more
my
thankful.
gosh. It
Yes,
sounds
so
like a unicorn school.
yeah,
And you
it is.
guys, I'm
Yeah,
gonna cry if I can't get in.
you
I will
know,
will pray, but like you're making it
yes.
sound so good. Like you're making it, you're like you're selling it. You're selling it.
Hey, I hope so. I mean, the school, it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's a great school. I can't emphasize that enough, you know?
Yeah. I
The
love that.
the location isn't ideal, but hey, you can drive 2 or however many hours or minutes or whatever to the beach. Pismo's right there.
Yes, we're right here, honey. Yeah, she knows. Everybody knows when they watch.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the most difficult aspect of the admissions process?
So when I applied to the school that I'm at, there was no interview process, no like prior like experience needed. And that's when I applied, things have changed. I know that their application has changed from when I applied for it. They started like changing things, but I didn't have to do an interview. I didn't have to do an essay or anything like that, which was
Wow.
really thankful because sometimes I can be really bad at essays.
It's so
Interviews
real
too,
though.
I get yeah, yeah, and interviews too make me nervous in general, so I'm like, I think I would do really bad at an interview, but I don't know.
No, yeah, like I feel like a lot of dental hygiene programs, like everywhere else, do take interview processes and like they do like you have to like submit a submission essay. So it could
Mhm.
be a little intimidating. So yeah, I
Yes.
feel it. Now, once you started dental hygiene school, what do you
Mhm.
think was the most difficult part?
Definitely finding patience. That
Especially in the middle of nowhere. Oh my God, okay. Fun, not a fun fact because I feel bad, but I was actually going to be one of her patients and I was going through a tough, rough moment of my life when I was like selling my Range Rover. Remember I told you all that, the
Mm,
whole deal? And so I was like, darn, I feel so bad because I know firsthand how that is. So I'm
yes.
sorry. I just want to say I'm
No,
sorry.
I life gets in the way and you can't expect everyone to, just like that's why it's so important when you do find patients, it's like you have backup,
Yes.
and that's the biggest thing is that people, they have their own lives. They can't come down and like sit there for 3 hours and they have their own things going on in their life. And so you can't expect that. And so like having backups and whatnot or having like friends and stuff in the area is super important.
Right.
So, no, of course, I totally understand.
Oh, as far as that though, so you would
Yeah.
say the most difficult part was finding
Mhm.
patients. So like
Yes.
walk us through. What did you
So,
like what are the requirements? What did you have to do?
So pretty much finding patients is hard because, well, especially for me, I'm not from around there.
Mhm.
So I don't have close family or friends. So luckily I have a great family and my boyfriend's family, they're amazing. So actually made the drive down a few times so I can clean their teeth. And that was like the biggest, like, most supportive thing that I could have ever had, like, during this dental hygiene journey, And so I'm very thankful for that, especially because you start seeing patients in your second semester. So your first semester is just very rigorous book work. You're learning about everything that goes on in the clinic. And so when it comes to second semester is when you actually start applying all of those skills and everything like that. So anyways, sorry, a little off
No,
topic,
you're
but
fine. Good.
going back to finding patients and like different requirements and stuff. So, I used a lot of apps like Facebook Marketplace, like just posting the little flyers that we get from our clinic on there and just like telling people about it, posting it like in Bakersfield not news, but like on like events that they have,
Yeah.
like joining groups and stuff. TikTok was a big one for me. I actually got a lot of patients that way, and I did, and it was very eye-opening, and I was like, "Wow, I could really use this platform and, get patients that way," and luckily I did, and also Nextdoor app, I don't know if anyone knows that app, but yeah, Nextdoor app, I got a few patients that way as well, and just finding the requirements and stuff, it is hard because you can't I don't know, I feel awkward just being like, "Hey," like, "smile," like, and, like, "Let
Yeah.
me see your teeth," So
That is so real.
and so I'm very, like I get scared about that stuff, and I get nervous that people are gonna look
Right.
at me, like, weird and be like,
What?
"What?" Like, so I pretty much just had them come in and, I got so lucky by some of the people that I had. You really have to ask some questions, like, "When was your last cleaning? Has it been a few years?" Especially when you start getting into your 3rd semester, because 2nd semester is more of the lighter stuff. So you see people that have, like, no calculus, call it like trace calculus or like lighter calculus levels. So when you start going into your 3rd semester, you start seeing like mods or heavy calculus, and that's when it gets a little bit harder because they do all these calibrations and you have to see those patients in 3rd semester. So
Right. But as
mhm.
far as like the school being like strict, because I've heard
Mhm.
horror stories about
Mhm.
like if you can't find a patient, you fail. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
So they are strict in that aspect of like if you don't get your requirements, like there's no way that you can move on because it's not just the school, it's DHBC, so it's the Dental
mm,
Hygiene Board of California, which they're strict about it. So you pretty much have to finish all of your requirements in the time slot, of the semester. But I feel like our school works really hard on like trying to help us find
okay.
patients. They really help us get like phone calls and stuff. And there's like a chart room that we go through and just call thousands and thousands of people, not thousands, but like lots of
Yeah.
people in the chart room that we can like look back on and call. And maybe those patients haven't been since, 2022 or whatever, and they might have more calculus and or not, it kind of just depends.
Then that's good. That makes
Hmm.
it a little bit easier because like if you have and you're set up for success, it's kind of more pleasant. Like,
Exactly.
it's not like, oh my God, if you're on your own. Like sink or
Yes.
swim, right?
Yes.
I love that.
Yes, and they do a lot as well, like, they have outreach events, so we can go out into the community, hand out flyers, we hand out toothbrushes, toothpaste, so it is kind of like adding community with the outreach and just kinda letting them know about our program.
Okay.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, Shar, for the dental hygiene basics interview, what
Mhm.
final advice would you give to a student to help them prepare for this experience?
So going back to like when I first started, the advice that I would give is just like never give up. And I emphasize that because I applied and I didn't get in my first round. So it is just, it feels like obviously a lot of weight on your shoulders when you still have to like wait a whole nother year and like a half to start your career. And so the biggest thing is just never give up, keep applying, keep going. And for future dental hygiene students, I would just say the grind. You gotta just grind it all the way through because there will be days that you are just like, "I don't know if I can do this. This is something I don't think I can do." But let me tell you, if I can do it, you can do it. Just keep grinding all the way through, and it'll be so worth it in the end. Looking back on my first semester, I was like, how am I gonna go, like, with these next 3 semesters? Like, how am I gonna do it? I know that 3rd semester is the hardest, and 4th
Yeah.
is hard because of board, so how am I gonna do it? But you can do it. Just get through it, and, nothing will stop you.
I love that.
Oh.
See, you guys, there you go for all the listeners. Like, it just, if you really want something this bad, you can achieve it. There's nothing you can't do if you really put if you really have all your effort in
Mhm.
and you lock in.
Mhm.
So, Shar, thank you so much for joining me and at the Dental Hygiene's Basics podcast. I've been having such a blast with like all of you guys. So, thank you so much for being here and taking the time to kind of talk about your journey and dental hygiene school. I adore you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.